Are you ready for another media project fear? Potentially lockdown, more public health measures, regulations in order to save us from ourselves. Now, there is a massive round of reports going around the lamestream media over the last few days about a new virus variant. Oh, yes, it's back. But there's a little bit of a but situation here. We're going to talk about that. So what's going on? You look at all these headlines from BBC, Sky, ITV, all the papers saying, well, the new variant, most striking since Omicron. Ooh, BA.2.86 was identified in a patient in London on Friday. BA, I believe, is related to British Airways. So there's a new variant. As usual, the same thing happens with the flu. We get that. Now, mutations happen. But the way they are reporting this, the angle that they're using to report this to create fear, is not the same as reporting the fact, saying there's a new mutation, we're going to wait to see what happens. No, that's not what they're doing. So again, this is Sky News. A new variant with high number of mutations detected in the UK. So there's another one. Scary, absolutely scary. It's very scary. New variant, this is ITV News, with high number of mutations identified in the UK. We have The Guardian saying a new variant causing concern among scientists detected in London. It is unclear how this is going to go, but the main headline is scary, underneath less scary. This happens so many times throughout the last few years compared to anything else we had related to public health until now. Until the new age, the new normal, because the media are not really holding the government to account. They're not holding the scientists to account. They don't ask the right questions. They are just a mouthpiece of the establishment, and they just report whatever they're told to report without actually thinking for themselves. So, but when you dig deep, do basic research on these headlines and these stories, well, there's more to it, and we're going to talk about that. So Reuters said, well, the UK has now reported the first case of the new variant. This is 3 days ago on the 18th of August, and everybody was freaking out in the establishment. But precautions is one thing. Public health guidelines is another thing. We get that. Everybody's in favor of public health. When we are criticizing the establishment for creating fear, doesn't mean we don't like public health, doesn't mean we want people to lose their lives. No, we just want sanity and some logical debate about what's going on a daily basis. So, we've got the UK Health Security Agency themselves. You remember Jenny Harris's UK Health Agency? They've come out to actually say, well, there is currently insufficient data to assess the relative severity or degree of an immune escape compared to other circulating variants. So that goes against everything those headlines said, because the actual government scientists themselves are saying we don't actually have the data yet. We have to wait. So far, we don't actually know how bad or not bad it's going to be. They also said there is currently one confirmed case in the UK in an individual with no recent travel history, which suggests a degree of community transmission within the UK. Identifying the extent of this transmission require further investigation. Again, so this statement is more factual. This is more based on what they actually know so far as they're telling us. So one case, and they said even with this case, we still have to investigate it because we don't know how severe it's going to be. And in terms of immunity and transmission, we don't know how bad or good it's going to be. We don't know yet. But the newspapers and the corporate media, broadcast media, they decided to just make up their mind. Say, we're all going to die. We're all doomed. It's not just Jenny Harris's team, but also the World Health Organization. What are they saying? So, the WHO said this week that it is they're designating the British Airways 2.2.86 a variant under monitoring. And a case in Michigan has prompted the US Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, and prevention to place it under surveillance. So even in the US, they're still assessing, they're still investigating. And even the WHO said this. So where are we with this now? Because now they're saying, this is actually according to Sky News themselves. You have to go dig deep in the story to find out that they say, well, this comes after a variant known as EG.5.1 was reported to be making up 1 in 7 new cases in the UK. 1 in 7. again, they use that number to scare everybody, saying as if this is like 100% and 10 out of 10. But again, you have to be cautious. Things happen. Public health is important. But you can't really just go out there with one tiny data and say, well, we're just going to speculate, and we're going to say speculation is fact. Prediction is going to happen, is inevitable. It's not inevitable. We don't know where we are with this yet. And now people are sick and tired of this. The government creating fear without actually sorting out their own healthcare system. It's completely idiotic. We have to save the NHS instead of the NHS saving us. How many times do we have to go through the same routine over and over again? So we got this. But in the middle of all this, every single time we get to this season and we're going to get close to winter, we have the same ideas coming up. Not just about new variants, but also flu. They're talking about flu lockdowns every single year since 2020, every time. And they got ideas from China, of course from China. Now, there was even a city in China back in March this year that proposed lockdowns for flu. And then even they faced a backlash. Even communist China. But somehow, our establishment take ideas from China without any pushback from the corporate media. Even in China, there is actual scrutiny. To an extent, obviously, but not here. Everybody in the establishment is a bit of a sheep, so they just follow the wave, and nobody asks why these ideas are being proposed. We're going to keep an eye on this story. Let me know your thoughts. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.